So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Thanks for coming. There are a lot of things that I want to go over today, a lot of things that I want to show you, but you signed up for this webinar when you looked at this right here. Right? This is what you looked at that enticed you to sign up for this webinar. So I'm going to go through all that, the exact entry, the stop loss, risk reward, the targets, 1, 2, 3. It actually goes out to 5 targets if you want. It's up to you how many targets you want. I have to go through some basic things here right at the beginning, though, just to make sure you guys understand, well, number one, that this only runs on TradingView. It does not run on NinjaTrader, it does not run on any other charting platform, AMP, or anything like that. TradingView has access to pretty much every market you'd want access to, so it's a universal thing, and it's really inexpensive. I'm going to show you how to get TradingView if you don't already have TradingView. I'm going to show you how to get TradingView and how all that works out. Excuse my voice, it's not real strong right now. I've been doing webinars all day. But, yeah, so target view trades. Now, a little about myself. You know, I've been trading since I was 12 years old. And so now over 40 years, I have well over 40 years of experience trading. And I've traded most everything. Forex is the one thing I've never really traded much of. I just couldn't get my head around that spread, you know, and the spread being what you pay to take the trade and all that. I couldn't get my head around that. What we have does work with Forex if you're a Forex trader. We do have some guys in Sweden that are using it just for Forex, using it on a 15-minute chart just for Forex. And I'm sure there are other people who are doing it as well, but I know those guys are, and they're doing it successfully. So it does work with Forex as well, but I primarily trade futures myself. I also trade stocks and options on ETFs. But primarily I trade futures, and I'd rather trade options on stocks than actual stocks. And I'm going to get into something else that you may or may not be familiar with. If you trade futures, an alternative to trading options, I'll get into that. Something that actually I closed out a position today that I opened up on Sunday night to take advantage of the gap open on Sunday night. I closed out the position today. I bought at, I want to say about at 55.56. The gap was at 55.54, and I bought at 55.56. And I just sold today at 56.20. So there's a lot of different ways you can do things here, and I did that with the MES instead of trading options because the MES does not have the time decay. But I guess I'm probably going too deep into things, and I tend to do that too. If anybody has any questions, I encourage the questions. Type them into the question box. Okay, I don't see any questions in here yet. Can somebody just type in anything in the question box just so I can make sure I'm seeing questions? But if anybody's got any questions, just type them into the question box. And thanks, Dan. Type them into the question box, and I will respond to all your questions. The only people who can see what you type in, the only person, is me. Again, so don't be shy about typing in anything. Alright, nobody can see your name or anything like that either. Alright, so let's jump right into it. Okay. The whole notion of having this tool is that the primary problem with trading is the person placing the trade. You know, this is not the only thing that's out there that gives you entry criteria for whatever you want it to be for. You know, there's a ton of things out there. There's a ton of other tools out there that will give you a similar sort of thing, but they usually have all kinds of indicators applied to them. Okay, and my thing was I didn't want to apply any indicators because the more you think, the more likely you are to do something wrong. No offense to anybody, but it's just a fact. You know, if you start thinking about things, like if I put a moving average on here, if we just do this, let's just throw a simple moving average on here. And I'm going to throw one on here I'm just going to throw the default on here. This is a 9 moving average, right? I think the simple moving average default is 9. It is. Okay. I'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll make it a fib number. Um, make it a 21 moving average, okay? So if you had this right here and you say, okay, well, it's above the 21 moving average, so it looks pretty good, I'm going to take that trade. But not every one is going to be above the 21 moving average. Like this one right here, you might see, that's not above the, it's not, well, it's starting below, so, I might not want to take that trade. You start saying things like that to yourself. And like in here, you might say, okay, well, the moving average is really coming down, so I may not take that trade. And I mean, in that case, it would have worked out for you. But in a lot of cases, it's not going to work out for you because all the math that creates this stuff, it's way more than the moment in time that you're looking at and making your decision on. And that's all you're doing. You're making a decision on what you can see in front of you in that moment in time. And all the stuff that's built into the tool, the program, looks at a lot more than you're seeing right here. A lot more than you're seeing in this moment in time. And a lot more than what is on the chart. I don't want to have any indicators because I don't want you to second guess what is going on. If it says go long, go long. It tells you where the stop should be. It tells you what the risk reward is. You can, let me put the risk reward on. I don't have it on by default. By default, when you turn the chart on, let's just do this, okay? By default, when you access the chart, it's just going to have something like this. This is Netflix, by the way. It's just going to be something like this, a Netflix 50 range. Now, I like range bars, and I'll explain that to you guys. I'll explain that to you too. I like to use range bars. So in here, 50 range means every bar is worth 50 cents. It's 50 cents in height. Right? Every bar is exactly the same, and it's 50 cents in height. I use range bars because range bars are true price action bars. You have to exceed price action. Price has to exceed the end of the range bar to go to the next bar. It's going to either close at the top or at the bottom to go to the next bar. So it's true price action. It's not timing out. It's not getting down to 0 and then going to the next bar. Like if you put it on a 5-minute bar, without any indicators at all on here, a 5-minute bar, you can see this one right here, when it counts down to 0, I don't even know where the counter is. The counter's over here. When it counts down to 0, it's going to go to another bar. There is no price action associated with that. You don't know where it's going to be when it gets to that point. That's all you know, is that when that gets down to 0, it's going to go to another bar. That's not really very useful information if you're trying to be proactive with your order. If you're trying to say, okay, I know that on a down close, it's, when the bar closes, I know it's going to satisfy the requirements for a trade setup. I know that. You don't know that when you're using these kind of bars. If you're using this, you're using, like a volume bar or a transaction bar, a tick bar, you don't get that information. With range bars, you do. If I put it back on a 50 range bar, I know right now that the bottom of this bar is right here at 642.17. So the top of the bar is going to be at 642.67. I know that ahead of time. So knowing that ahead of time, I would say, all right, see the top of the bar is right there at 642.67, right? I knew that ahead of time. And knowing that ahead of time, I can say, if I get that up close at 642.67, I'm going to go long. All right, sorry, I'm going down. I'm going way away from where I really need to be. So this is what the charts look like when you just throw them on. All right, you got nothing on the chart. And then if you go here, once you give us your TradingView login ID, when you hover over this, it says, for me, it says logged in as TV trades. For you, it's going to say something else. Whatever that something else is what you need to give to me so I can enable it for you. And when I enable it, you'll have something in here in your invite only. Now, I have a bunch of things in here, but you will probably only have this, TV trades. And if you take the trial today, you'll have the TV trades and the TV trades beta will be in there. The TV trades beta is something that's got a couple of changes that I implemented over the past couple of weeks. And so you'll have the TV trades and the TV trades beta in there. Just plunk it on the chart like that. You don't have to do anything. Just click it one time and it goes on the chart. And bam, automatically. This is for an equity now. This is for Netflix 50 range. So we gave a long opportunity back here today at 12:58. I don't have shorts on automatically for the equities. I don't have shorts on automatically for anything. But for those of you guys that like to trade the markets both ways, you can turn the shorts on. It's really simple to do. And with equities, selling short is not really a thing that most people do with equities because there's a lot of things that you have to be able to do that. One is a minimum $25,000 account, and two, you can only do it, you have to be a professional, a pattern day trader, and there's just certain requirements that go with it that you really don't want to have to satisfy. But what you can do is buy put options when you have a shorting opportunity. And to get the shorting opportunity, all you have to do is go here to TV trades, click on that little thing right there, the settings thing, and check the box. Right? And that's going to give you shorting opportunities. Bam, right there like that. Right? Now, with equities, you're not usually going long, and with equities, you don't usually get into situations like this. But to get out of situations like that, with futures anyway, I created this bias level. Now what that does is it's only going to give you shorting opportunities below, this is a default level here, a 233, below that 233 simple moving average. And it'll only give you long opportunities above that 233 simple moving average, okay? It'll only give you long opportunities above it. You see? Now I created that more for futures than for equities, because futures you trade both ways all the time. But you can see it works with both. Now, there's also another thing here called the mid-trend trade, and that is in case you miss the beginning of the trade. Like this one right here. This triggered back here at 230. And if you missed that opportunity right there at 230, you may want to get in right here, but you have no indication to get in there because you don't have any indicators, right? You don't have any indicators. Did I find range bars better than tick bars? Oh yes, much better. Much better, Dan. I'll explain that to you in a minute, okay? I'll go into that. The question was, do I find range bars better than tick bars? Yes. Better than any other bar. Any other bar, and I've used them all. Okay, so you may want to get into this right here. If you miss this opportunity here, then you gotta wait until it gives a long or it gives another short later on. It's gonna have to trigger long and then trigger back short. You gotta wait for that. Or you can turn on the mid-trend trade. I created this thing called the mid-trend trade. And we turn that on. I don't know if it's going to trigger one right there. It did trigger one right there. Okay. It'll give you a secondary trigger in the middle of a trend. So if you got short right here, great. You could have taken some profit on that. Now, this again is Netflix. It's not a futures contract. But if you bought puts right there, and it dropped down a couple of bucks, you could probably take a little bit of profit on that. If you missed the opportunity and you want to try again, it gave you another one right here. You could buy it again right there, buy puts again right there, and take a little profit on that. Now, as I said earlier, typically people who are trading equities are not going to be shorting, so you would shut that off. You don't have to worry about the bias if you're only going in one direction, but you can leave the mid-trend trade on, okay? Because the same thing applies going long. If you missed the long trade right here, it hasn't given another one since then, so you could grab onto the long trade from in here. Now, usually the thing about the mid-trend trades is usually they're going to be on the pivot bar. Okay, when you get a mid-trend trade, like that short one was right here on this pivot bar. And if I had the shorts on right in here, you'd probably have one right there on the pivot bar. Over here, this mid-trend trade is right here on the pivot bar. This one's on the pivot bar. Okay, so you'll be able to get in, whenever you want to, based on that information. So I told you I was going to show you the risk-reward criteria in here. I didn't get around to that. Sorry about that. Every trade, when you put a trade on, it establishes the targets for you based upon, let me show you what it's based upon, okay? Let me show you. Alright, and this is a new feature in the beta right here, making that adjustable. But what it does, like this blue arrow right here, this should have just triggered, this is Netflix long, it just triggered a buy condition. This is perfect right here. It triggered a buy condition right here. Now when it triggered that buy condition, it looked back right here at that pivot and then looked for the next one above it. So 646.14 is that one, and then the next one that's above it is over here, 649.28. The next one that's above that is way back there, 649.91. Alright, so that just triggered right there on Netflix. That whole thing just happened right there in front of you. Now, is this a good trade? Well, maybe, probably. I would say yeah, it is a good trade. Alright, there's some things in here that I don't have turned on. This is not the beta. This one here is the beta. Okay, if I turn that on, then there's some stuff in here on the beta that I'll get to that in a minute. But what it's suggesting right here is that your stop should be below right here, or be at or below this level right here. Okay, so your stop is minimal. It's $1 stop. All right, and your first target from the entry here at 43.64, your first target is up here at 46.14. So the risk reward, you're only risking $1 to make a couple. And to see what exactly that number is, just check this box right here. Okay, check that box right there. So you got a 2.4 to 1 risk reward. What that means is from your entry, the difference from your entry to the stop is the risk. And the difference from your entry to the first target, which is right here, is 2.4 to 1. Right? It divides this space here by this space right here. So your risk and your reward in this case, yeah, I need my drawing tools and I'm not exactly sure where they are. But anyway, your risk is just this little space from here to here, and your reward is this big space from here to up here. Alright, that's basically what that's telling you. Your stop is $1.01. So that's, I mean, that's a perfect type of trade setup that you'd want to take right there. Okay, if you're just taking long trades, it's a perfect type of trade setup that you would want to take right there. And that's it. Does it trigger on the pivot bar or after the pivot has appeared? The bar has to close, right? Particularly when you're using range bars, the bar has to close for it to trigger, right? It's not going to trigger. You're not going to see it until the bar closes. That's why you get the warnings. It says, like right here, Netflix 50 range buy coming up. That was at 15:30. That happened on this bar right here. It told you there was a buy coming up on this bar when that bar closed. It told you to get ready for a buy that was coming up, and then there it was right there. There was your buy. Okay. So the question was, does it trigger on the pivot bar or after the pivot bar has appeared? It triggers when the pivot bar closes. Okay. And so if we go back here and we look at this, I want to show you something. Show you something else. If we go in here, all right. There's the buy notice and the sell notice for the mid-trend trades. Those are little black arrows that, let me go to a different market and we'll look at it on a different market where they appear more frequently. Like the NQ. Let's go to the NQ. And you see those are hot tips. That's part of the beta that I was going to show you. But in here, if we turn on buy notice, sell notice, okay, and the mid-trend trade is on. And so now we'll go and see these black arrows. For the mid-trend trade, oftentimes, not every time, but oftentimes you get this black arrow that lets you know ahead of time that the next bar is going to be your trigger. Okay, it doesn't happen every time. Like you didn't get one on this one and you didn't end up getting a trade on that one because it didn't come together right. But oftentimes you're going to get one of these that says the next bar might be your mid-trend trade trigger. Okay, you get one that lets you know ahead of time the next bar might be the mid-trend trade trigger, so you can get ready for it ahead of time. And it'll give you a notice over here too on the side. Right, like this one here on a 30 range NQ, we're on a 15 range. But if we go to the 30 range right now, and we go to the end, this bar right here, this blue bar with the red background, is what made this happen. That's what made that trigger right there. So you get a notice ahead of time. Yeah, it's very different than pivots on tick bars. Let me explain the difference between tick bars and this. Now this is a 30 tick range bar. So in this case, tick means price movement. Okay, it means price movement. It does not mean transaction. So if this were like a regular 30 range transaction bar, like I'll show it to you on another platform because I know I have it ready here on another platform. So let me just show you on another platform what a 30 range transaction bar looks like. Another 30, just a 30 transaction. Well, I'm not going to show you a 30, but I'll show you a transaction bar. Not this one. Let me go to this one. Nope, not that one. I don't know. I'll just show you on this one. Okay. A transaction bar looks like this. If you go to custom and you go to tick bar, this is what you're talking about. And this is crude oil. So we just do like a 200 tick bar. Okay. And what you're talking about in this type of bar right now, crude is probably the wrong market to do this on because it's not really running right now, but this number up here, you see it up here? This number counts down to 0. And when it gets down to 0, that means 200 transactions have transpired. And it's going to go to the next bar. So any bar that counts down to 0 like that, you have very limited information. The tick bars and the volume bars are the worst. All right, of all the bars, the tick bars and the volume bars are the worst. You get more information. You get more information from a range bar than you do from any other bar. But even the time-based bars are better than the tick bars and the volume-based bars. I mean, it's a different kind of information, but the information that you get, the added information that you get, is the countdown in time. All those other bars that count down to 0, like a volume bar or transaction bar, that counts down to 0 before it goes to the next bar, all you know is that number is going to go to a next bar when it gets to 0. You have no idea where price is going to be. You have no idea when that's going to happen. You can't look at it and say, this is going to happen in 30 seconds, or this is going to happen in a minute, or anything like that. And that's why, let's go back here to this. And that's why the range bars, this gave you the notice that it was coming up right here on this bar. It let you know it was coming up on this bar. It gave you the exact trigger. It gave you your stop. It gave you a long entry. It gave you your first target, 89.25. So your first target is going to be up here at 89.25. It's almost up there now. And there it goes. That's it right there. That's exactly what you wanted to do, right? Now you can have this information. It's over here right now, but you can have that information. If I click on this, that was 30 range alert. So buy coming up right here. So the 30 range buy condition net. This is the alert right here that just triggered. Alright, so I do it once per bar close, and under notifications I just have it notify in the app. So what that means is it popped up on my phone at the same time. So I have that on my phone right now too. Let me see if I can, yeah, I can show you on my phone. Hang on, let me send this over to myself. And I'll show you what it looks like on my phone. Okay, I'm going to do it in Telegram. Send it to myself in Telegram. I gotta open Telegram. But okay, I have a Telegram channel for TV trades, by the way, that you're all invited to if you want to go to it. It's free, and you can go into there if you want. But now I gotta open Telegram. Hang on, and I'll show it to you in Telegram. But this is the way that alert is set up. So the next target is 90.5. So we've already hit the next target. Now, if you want to have more targets, you can have up to 5 targets. You set that right here. Okay, you set that right in there, and it'll show you up to 5 targets. And if you want more information about the targets displayed on the charts, you can do that too. You can show target lines on the chart. And so we'll show all the target lines on the chart right now. So this was our first target, this is our second target, this is the third target, this is the fourth target, and this one way up here is your 5th target. Okay, let me spread it out so you can see those lines a little better. Okay, you see those are your target lines up there, based on all that stuff that I showed you about the prior pivots. Alright, now I feel like I gotta show you guys something else because I haven't done it yet. Right, but this is a perfect example of a trade setup right here. You got the warning, you got the trade, you got the trigger, you hit the first target and the second target. Now in here it tells you what your stop is. With range bars, from these bars right here, the red bars and the blue bars, this red bar here, and these blue bars, the red bars and the blue bars, not the mid-trend trade bars. But your stop is going to be, the maximum is going to be 2 bar lengths. That's the maximum stop that you're going to have. The minimum would be 1 bar length, but the maximum would be 2 bar lengths. So in this case, it's 15 range bars, so your stop is just below the prior bar, or it is at the prior bar, actually, right there, below the prior bar. The mid-trend trades, when they trigger, the stop is just going to be below the trigger bar. Okay, so it's going to be like 1 bar length plus a couple of ticks, is what it would be. Alright? And yes, it is, Dan said very interesting, so it enables more precision on entries. It enables complete precision on entries. That's why you have all these exact numbers right here. They're not areas, they're exact numbers. The way I created it, I've been doing this for a long time, and I actually have more stuff that I'm going to add that's going to make it all even better as we keep going forward. The hot tips was one thing. Usually if you get a hot tip like this, a white hot tip on the end, if those trades start working out, they're usually going to make it to multiple target levels. Okay, they usually work out to be multiple target level trades, not just the first target. Okay, that's what the white tip is for. There was one other feature that we added with the beta. If the targets are too far away from you, or they're too close to you, you can adjust the pivot look back in here. Like if I make that a smaller number, then these targets are going to get a lot smaller and bring them in closer. And if I make that a bigger number, then the target's going to go further out. If I make that a 20, the target's going to be way out there. Probably. It'll probably still capture the first couple that are right near us, but it should move them out even further. So I don't even know if it did or didn't, but I know if we move it down to 5, it should bring the targets down closer, because what it's doing is it's looking at nearer pivots. Okay, it's redoing it right now. It might be redoing it for the first one, so I don't know how it's going to come back up. But anyway, that was one of the features that we added. And then the hot tips right here, the hot tips long and hot tips short. We also have them. I also put them on the mid-trend trade. They don't happen very often on the mid-trend trade because there's a certain sequence of things that need to happen. All right, I guess I kind of broke it. There's a certain sequence of things that need to happen for the hot tips on the mid-trend trades. All right, see this one right here? We just got the mid-trend trade. We got a warning ahead of time, and then we got the mid-trend trade. So you can go long again right there. If you took profit here at the first target, you can go long again, and now you have your second, third, fourth, fifth target that you can use. All right, so the targets are based off of the blue arrows and the red arrows of the targets. That's what they're based off of. Okay, so after you get a trigger from a blue arrow or a red arrow, then the targets stay the same until you get another blue arrow or a red arrow. And I only did out to 5 targets, but if you get beyond the 5th target and you're still in the trade, you find yourself still in the trade, you can do what I just showed you earlier. Just go here and put the draw pivot labels on, and then you can go back and find your own target if you want to. Alright, it's going to draw them all here. You can go back and find the next one that's going to be way, way, way back on the left, but most of the time you're not going to need to do that. Five targets is usually enough. Alright. Do you guys have any questions? I'm answering all the questions that come in, but so far it's just one fellow that's asking questions. Dan. And Dan, I didn't see you come into the morning session today or yesterday. You said you were gonna, but I didn't see them in there. All this is obviously different than that. Okay. But that's exactly what it does. It gives you the indication. It gives you a notice ahead of time most of the time, not all the time. It's going to give you a notice ahead of time that you know you got a trade coming up, so you can get to your chart. It can send it to you in an email. It can send it to you on your phone. It can let you know ahead of time that you got a trade coming up, so you get to your chart, you start paying attention to it, and then you put the trade on. It tells you exactly what to do. It gives you all your targets, all that stuff. Then you get your mid-trend trade to let you know ahead of time that you had a trade coming up. This one didn't let you know ahead of time, but this one here let you know ahead of time you had a trade coming up. And hang on, I want to show you what it looked like on my phone. This is what that NQ30 range buy looked like on my phone. The one right here. Alright, it was alert on NQ30 range buy condition met, buy coming up, buy condition met, buy condition met. That's what it looks like on my phone. And you can have that sent to your phone too, if you want to. We'll go back to the 30 range here and see. See, that was this one right here. It gave the warning right here. Did you see 2 of those warnings right here? 2 of those notices that said there's a buy condition coming up. And here it was right here. It gave the buy condition met. And so the first target on that was right here. The next target is up here. Alright, so this is about to give a mid-trend trade too, probably. If this bar closes down and the next one closes up, it'll probably give you a mid-trend trade. Okay. I need to go back over here for a second. There you go. You were on a call yesterday morning. Okay. I don't know percentages like that, Dan. I don't do percentages. At the end of the day, all I do is know how much money did I make. And usually, you know, if you've been following me for years, this spreadsheet is my daily results going back over 10 years. It goes back to January 2nd of 2013. And anybody that's been following me that long, you know that the results from everything that I do are really good. And the results from this are equally as good. That's yeah, it's worth noting. Okay, you did get on the call yesterday morning? Okay, well that's good. I'm glad you're able to get in there for a little while. Alright, so this is what it looks like on the NQ, and that's how it all comes together. Alright. there were some things that I wanted to show you. Well, first, let me minimize this and show you this. All right. If you have not taken a trial with me, oops, that's the wrong place. If you have not taken the trial with me, go here to targetviewtrades.com. All right. When this recording is done, it's going to be emailed to anybody that's attending right now. You'll get it'll be put out on YouTube, and then the YouTube link will be sent to everybody that's attending right now, and everybody that signed up and didn't attend will be sent to them too. But it'll also be put here on the website. It'll be put right here. If you go to Target View Trades, it'll be right here under TV Trades web recordings. It'll be right in here. Now, these that I do with Online Trader Central, I do this one once a week. All right. Well, I do these kind of things once a week. Oops, all right. Do that. I do these kind of things once a week for people who are joined or people who just are interested. So I'll be doing one of those tomorrow at 3 p.m. But the ones that I do with Online Trader Central, I do on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. just once a month, though. If you want to see any of these recordings, go here to Target View Trades, click on this TV Trades web recording. All right. We're also out on YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube. But if you haven't taken a trial with us, and you want to, if you like what you see right now and you want to sign up for the trial is free. You do have to have TradingView. But right here, it's only $25 a week to get started. It's not like it's, $5,000 or anything like that. It's only $25 a week to get started. And that's a 3-day trial. The trial is actually free. The $25 a week is after the trial. Or $90 a month if you want a discount. You get a 10% discount if you pay for it monthly. You get more than 20% discount if you pay for it annually. Usually the way people start out, they start out with this or with this. If they start out with this, they usually end up going to this, switching to that to get the 10% discount after they've gotten to like it. Pay a couple weeks, the full price. That's typically the way that it works out. So that's all you have to do, Dan. Go in here, click on this. Now, if you do not have TradingView charts, go here to Target View Trades, click on Getting Charts. Okay, right here at the top, click on Getting Charts, go to TradingView Charts. Now, in here, it's going to bring you right to the TradingView website. I have a special link that you can use, and I'm supposed to get some kind of coin or something like that, but I'd rather you just go straight to the website, because sometimes they offer really good deals that I don't think I'm able to offer. Go to the website and click on monthly. You don't want to sign up for the annually. Click on monthly. It's going to be a little bit more, a couple bucks more a month, but click on the monthly. This is what I have. You don't need that, right? You don't need that. I need that, but you don't. The Plus will give you up to 4 charts at once, and the Plus will give you 100 technical alerts or 100 price alerts. I'll explain the difference to those. The Essential, if you're only going to use a couple of charts, then you're not going to have a ton of alerts either. That's fine. You get 20 price alerts and 20 technical alerts. There's a free version that's basic, and with that, I think you only get 1 chart. You get to put 1 indicator on the chart, which is fine because that's all we have. You get 1 chart with 1 indicator, but I think you only get 1 alert also, which is also fine if you only set 1 alert to let you know that you got a trade coming up. So that is what level of TV. I'm just going into that right now. Discard. Okay. No, it works on everything. Discard works on everything, but the Essential and the Plus and the Premium, you'll be able to get custom range bars. All right, right down here, custom range bars. It comes with those. If you have the basic, you don't get custom range bars. You still get range bars, but they're set to 1, 10, 100, and 1,000. The range bars that you get to use. Now, I use custom range bars because I like. Well, let me explain to you why I use custom range bars. I use custom range bars because on things like the NQ or the ES that work in 4 ticks per point increments, if I know what the top of the bar is, like for this, it's on a 7 range. So I know 2 points from the top or the bottom of the bar will be it'll be 1 tick more than the close of the bar. Right? Knowing that every bar closes at the top or the bottom, 2 points from the top or the bottom will be 1 tick more than the range of the bar. So if I want to go short, I would say, all right, I'm going to sell right here. The top of this bar is 1250. I'd sell 1050. That would put my sell stop limit order waiting down here at 1050, 1 tick below the bottom of the bar. Because I know ahead of time, if this bar is going to close and it's going to give me a trade setup, then I got my order on ahead of time. That's why I use range bars. Now, for what we're doing in here, that works to an extent because you get notified ahead of time that the next bar is likely to be the trigger, but you don't know for sure that it's going to be the trigger. All right. So there's something to be said about it. That's why I use range bars. I mean the stuff that I do in the morning, like just guard, and Dan, you saw this morning, and anybody that's been following me for all the years, in the morning I trade actively, quickly, actively, and I need to know ahead of time if the trade's going to be a setup or not, and so I can be proactive with my order, put my order on ahead of time, and that is why I use range bars. All right, you don't have to use range bars. It works if you want to do it on a 5-minute bar. You're going to get the same kind of indications. It's going to give you the same kind of information over here. Your stop's going to be bigger. Your risk reward's going to be a little different. If you do the risk reward on this one, show the risk reward, and it's going to be based upon, like right here, your risk reward is only 0.5. You want that risk reward to be 1 or greater. All right, it's only 0.5 because the first pivot is right here. It's based off of this blue arrow. The first pivot is right here, right, 1775. And the stop is down here, right here. So it's not, the risk reward is just not there on this one. And that's on a 5-minute. You can bump it to a 30-minute if you want, or whatever you want, you can bump it. But I would recommend sticking with the range bars. Alright. If you want to do, if you want to go to something big and you want to trade, like other things, like, longer period options, you can go to a daily. And like on a daily, it gave a beautiful long trade back here that you could have bought some calls way back here in May. That would have just, they'd made you a fortune between now and then. Then and now. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can use this, and this is with the ES, but you can do it with anything. I did this thing with the Motley Fool picks and like CrowdStrike, which just got killed, I'm sure, last week. But CrowdStrike was one of them. And at the beginning of the year, let's just use this one right here. We'll pull up the Microsoft chart and we'll put CrowdStrike on it. CRWD, I think is his name. And when they dropped like half the world's internet last week, they had issues. But back at the beginning of the year, they're one of the Motley Fool's picks. Let's see, I don't know what I have turned on here. I don't have short arrows turned on too. But if you're looking at it on a daily chart, and I want it on a daily chart, here we go. Look at it on a daily chart, and we go back to the beginning of the year. Now, the Motley Fools had picked it in January, and, well, I guess the daily chart's not really giving you anything right here, but if we put it on, I know it had given good indications on, I think it was a 30-minute chart, it had given great indications here in January, great indications. But if you're looking at it just on the daily chart, the last indication it gave was right in here. For a long trade, was back here in May. And you can look at any symbol that you want to. If you go to NVIDIA, which is on the other side already, it's already up here on the other side, on a 50 range, NVIDIA. And it gave a nice long trade a little while ago today, back here. Again, this is only going to have the long trades on it. But if you want to put short trades on there, you can just flip the button right here. It's going to show short trades and mid-trend trades. Okay, I'll shut the mid-trends off right now. But it had great opportunities here on the shorts. If you want to short NVIDIA, or if you just want to buy some put options, when it seems like it can't go any higher, it's got to retrace eventually. Everything does. But you have all these tools. All this stuff right here at your fingertips, and it's a simple tool. It's you don't need to have indicators on it. I highly recommend not putting any indicators on it, because that's going to make you second guess it. It does all the work for you. It says here's the entry, here's the stop, here's your targets. Alright, if those targets don't work out for you, don't take the trade. Okay, go to another stock, go to another market. Whatever you want to do, nobody's forcing you to take a trade. Like Tesla gave a couple of longs today, I think. Gave a couple of alert longs, and they worked out right at the beginning, but then I think it turned down. Mr. was another one. I don't know what this looks like. Let's see what Mr. looks like when this alert came out. This was a buy condition at 311. I don't see that actual buy condition. Buy condition met. This is on a 500 range. Okay, this is on a 500 range. I don't see the actual trigger on there. I don't know why that's not showing, but oh. No, that's not it. I don't know. we'll have to go back to that. But it gave a buy condition here, right in here on this bar, I think. Right, buy condition met at 15.11. That was this one right here. Buy condition was met right here at 17.49, and it ran up to 17.53. It only ran up 4. But you can see it's good for everything. And it's not only range charts, just guard, though I love the range charts. You know, anybody that's following me knows that I do range charts. All range charts in the morning session. I look at 30-minute charts to get a good idea of where prices should go to in the bigger picture. I'll look at 30-minute charts, but I don't trade off of 30-minute charts. You can get precise entries off the range charts where you can't get precise entries off the 30-minute charts. Right? Well, I'd say that you can get precise entries, but your risk is going to be it's going to be huge. And when I say risk, I mean the stop. Right? Every trade has a stop, or should have a stop, and you should have a plan for every trade. You know, every trade that I take, I know before I put the trade on how big the stop is going to be, how much I'm going to risk on every trade, and you know, in here it gives you that information. But I know that all the trading that I do, even before I created this, I knew that ahead of time. Also, every trade that I ever take is like that, and you know, I've been trading a long time, guys. Alright, it's 3:41, so we have 19 minutes left. Now, I wanted to make sure you guys saw how to take the free trial, right? You go here, and you just go to Target View Trades, the home page. You can do it right from the home page. I think there's actually 2 places on the home page. The home page used to have some more stuff in it with crypto stuff on it, but Facebook made me take it off because they don't like having anything that's got to do with crypto. So I can't even have the word crypto on there. But I had a whole other thing that was like this for crypto. And you know what this thing shows you. I mean, you guys probably, you know, I don't know how many of you guys trade stocks. How many trade equities? Joel, can you use a prop firm? You sure can if you want to. I mean, you can't have. Which prop firm are you talking about? Top Step, Apex. Apex. Okay. Well, either way, they have their own. I think Top Step has a thing called Top Step X, which is its own kind of white label trading view, but they don't allow. Let me show you what they don't allow. They don't allow invite-only custom indicators on that Top Step X. So you would have to use trading view charts and trade on whatever you're doing, Joel, at Apex. Okay, Apex, I think Apex, they use NinjaTrader for the most part, but you'd have to place your trades in NinjaTrader and just use this for charts. And I have tons of guys that do that with the stuff that I do normally, you know, with the trading room that I do normally in the morning. I have a bunch of guys that do just that, and I did, up until I rebooted before the meeting, I did have my NinjaTrader open running in here, so I would be able to show you that. But I don't have this on NinjaTrader. It's never going to be on NinjaTrader. Okay, I'm not doing this anywhere else. You know, as it is, the stuff that I've done in the past, I have on like 15 different platforms, and whenever I make a change, I have to make it on 15 different platforms. And so I'm not doing that again. I've learned my lesson. You know, and that stuff I've been doing over there for over 15 years. So, get TradingView. TradingView is dirt cheap. You know, you can just go to the website, go here, and I think it's right here. Yeah, it's $14 a month. This is actually, you can sign up for a month for free. The one thing I didn't show you that you do have to do, anybody that's trading futures, if you're trading futures on TradingView, you have to pay for the data. All right, it's easiest just to pay the $7 for the TradingView data. I'll show you how to do that right now. You go here and click on this. Let me save this first. Save this. Okay, you go here and click on this, and then you go to account and billing. And when this opens up, there'll be right in here, get real-time data. The one thing that you need is this right here. It's $7 a month. Alright, you get CME, CBOT, Comics, NYMEX, the whole CME group for $7 a month. Real-time data. That is what you need. Alright, you get that, $7 there, and $14 for the the other thing. Let me go back here. And 15 bucks, I guess. 15 bucks for this. So for 21 bucks, you have charts with real-time data, and that's TradingView charts. Okay, and that's for a month. This you sign up for a month for free, but you're gonna need to pay the $7 to get the data. Right? They give you a month for free if you don't have it yet. And really sign up for the monthly, because every now and then they give a really good deal, like 70% off for the annual. And when they do that, it'll probably be coming up Labor Day. Labor Day, they'll probably have one on Labor Day where they'll have, and you'll be able to, for 200 bucks, you'll be able to get the premium for a year or something like that. The plus for like 175 bucks, you get it for a year. Something like that. They have a really good deal. You know, I'm good till November of 2025 right now because they just added on. If you pay for it like that, whenever they offer the deal, if you pay for it, they just add it on to what you've already got. So I'm good for, you know, well over a year from now. So let's go to back here. Now, does anybody have any questions about any of this stuff? With futures, you know, there's stuff that I'm working on right now that's going to make this even better for you. That's just going to make everything just awesome. But it's great just the way it is. You know, this is on a daily chart, but if you bump this down, I like to trade the S on a 7 range. And so you just give a nice indication to short right here. And that should make it down to this level down here. Should. I don't know if it's going to, but it should. And it's just an easy process. I'm not sure I got longs on properly on here, do I? I do. I have them all on there. Okay. But that's it. The trial is really free. You know, if you want to take the trial, then go out there where I just said, go to the home page. It's right there on the home page. I think it's twice on here. What I was getting at earlier is I had to take off all the crypto stuff. I used to have more stuff on here with crypto. But that's why I have 2 of these things for the trial, like almost right on top of each other. If you just wanted to trade equities, you could come in here. What this thing does right here, this is pretty cool. You can get technical ratings in here, and then get it for earnings this week, things that have earnings this week. And what I would do is go through here and filter it out by things that have a volume of over 1 million, daily volume of over 1 million, and that are in the price range that you're interested in, and go and check those out and see if they've popped yet. If they haven't popped, like there's a whole bunch of them in here, and if they haven't popped, then you go in there and like I don't know what this is, but if you just click on that, and what's the symbol for it? WRLD on NASDAQ. So let's go back here and look at WRLD. WRLD. Oops, didn't go. WRLD. This one. Alright, so it's already had a little bit of a pop. It looks like, well, that's the daily chart. If we go, let's blow it up and see. It is priced at 132 bucks. So a 50 range means each bar is 50 cents when I click on it this way. Each bar is 50 cents. So you would have to see how volatile it is and see if it's going to give you, an ample number of trade setups during the day. Let me shut the beta off and put the regular TV trades on there. Okay, and it gave a long trade here. That was this morning, right? That was yesterday morning. It gave a long trade right in here. That's the kind of thing that I was saying. If you see those things that have an opportunity, they have the news, their earnings are coming out, you can get in them. If you get in them before the pop, something like this, you could buy an option right here. And it's gone up, considerably since then, so that option would be worth a good chunk of money. Or you could buy the actual stock right there, because that's gone up, 5% anyway, since that signal. What happens when you get into chop area intraday in the ES? Well, that's what the bias is for. Okay, let me show you on this. The reason I have the bias, I created the bias, was more for futures, because, I told you I don't want you to have any indicators on the chart. The bias basically says, keep you out of the chop. Right? Moving average, simple. Here it is to keep you out of the chop as much as possible. This is a 233 moving average. Now you don't need to have it on the chart. You just need to know that you're only going to get long trades when it's above that, and you're only going to get short trades when it's below it. So if you're in chop, you only get an indication in one direction, and it's not going to give you multiple indications like stop out after stop out in the same direction. Okay. The question was, what happens when you get into chop intraday on the ES? That's why I have the bias line, or the bias option in there, so you don't get into chop, right? And this is on the daily, but if we break it down to a smaller time frame, you're getting in here where the actual line flattened out. You do get back and forth a little bit in there, but that doesn't happen often. But it's going to keep you on one side of the market. All right, it's going to keep you on one side of the market, and usually keep you out of the chop. Right, and again, you don't want to trade all day long. You want to have some goal for the day that you want to achieve, and get that goal and stop trading. And you can see it's just giving good indication after good indication again and again and again. And nothing's perfect, obviously, but that's what the bias is for. Now you can adjust that bias to be whatever you want. Like we have one guy, Rico, and he likes, well, I'll do it here too. He likes to put the bias on a 50. A 50. But he also looks at a 30-minute chart to get direction. So in here, you would change the bias level here to a 50. Now he looks at his 30-minute chart to get direction. So if the 30-minute chart is suggesting it's going to go up, then that's the only direction he trades in. But he gets more signals by having it on a 50 than he would having it on 233. Okay, and you can see right in here, if you don't have the bias going there, you will get some chop in there. Right, but that's how he does it. That's how that one individual does it. Now I don't necessarily recommend the 50, but he's got other things that he's using with it. Okay, Dan, he's actually one of our partners from the morning session, so he's using the whole morning session stuff with it. But even here on the 50, you can see it's still giving some really good indications. And I mean, I know when you stop out, it's no fun stopping out. And my thing is to never stop out more than once in the same direction, right in a row. Alright, that's my thing. And so for every trade that I take, it has to continue the trend before I'll trade again in that direction. So, like anything in here, like this one right here, if I took that short right there, and it didn't put in a lower swing, I would not take this one. This one did put in a lower swing, so I would take that one. But this one right here, I would have taken that. That did put in a higher swing, so I could have taken that. That did not put in a higher swing. But coming right after like that, I don't like it going back and forth like that. That's why I don't use a 50. So you can set that to whatever you want. Something that suits you. And it's not, I don't want you actually looking at the moving average, right? Because that's going to make you say, well, it was flat right here. Yeah, the moving average is flat. Well, yeah, you don't have to see it to know that. You guys have to agree. Anybody that's been trading for any length of time, you have to agree that the decisions that we make based upon the limited information that we see and process is what causes the majority of the problems with trading. The stuff between our ears is what causes the majority of the problems with trading. I can have something that gives me 100 trades. Well, I mean, I'm not me, but some people can have something that gives 10 good trade setups right in a row, and they'll screw up 3 or 4 of those. And it's just the way it is. It's just the way. I've been watching people trade. I've been teaching people how to trade. Thousands of people over the years, and I see it all the time. So what I created here takes all that thinking part out. What I created here is just, you see it, you act. If it stops out, okay. Don't feel bad. Don't think it's not working. Don't think automatically that it's no good. But if you take this one right here and it stops out, don't take that one. Don't take that one, and don't take that one. Wait until it puts in a lower swing. If this one right here stops out, you want to go down below this level before you take another one. This one right here stops out. You want to go below this level before you take another one in that direction. Alright? The markets trend. And the markets, when they trend, that's what you want to be in on. Where it goes down, comes up, goes down, comes up, goes down, comes up. The red and blue arrows typically get it near the beginning of the trend. Alright? They typically get it near the beginning of the trend. Like in here. And then the midpoints are where it pulls back. But these are typically at the beginning of the trend, and then the midpoint's where it pulls back. Okay? That's the way that it's designed, that's the way that it works. So you want to get in with the trend, and that's why it's not right at the very beginning of the trend. When you get one of these, it's not right at the very beginning of the trend, but it's usually pretty close to the beginning of the trend. You know, if you go back here, it's usually pretty close to the beginning of the trend. It's not right at the beginning. The beginning would be down here, right? We don't capture it right down there. Right? But anyway, the trial is free, so take the trial and go out here and take the trial. Alright, and we're also, I said we're in Telegram. I don't know if you guys all have Telegram. If you don't have Telegram, you should really get it. It's a free app. And we have a channel in here, a Telegram channel called TV Trades. Right, and this is the screenshot that I took from my phone. I just shoved it in here to Telegram. This is a webinar, well, it's a YouTube thing that I run in the morning. For those of you guys who do my thing in the morning, I run this in conjunction with everything else that I'm doing in the morning. Usually like the first half hour to hour every morning. This is just silent charts. You know, if you click on that, you'll be able to see it. But if you have Telegram, TV Trades is the channel. If you don't have Telegram, go to telegram.org to sign up for it if you want to. Okay. It is free. It's a free app, and a lot of things use it. A lot of places use it, and it's awesome for passing around files. It'll let you pass around executable files and everything else, and zip files, and huge files up to like 3 gigabytes or something like that. So it'll let you pass around huge files. Anyway, it is now 3:57 and probably a little bit more. So I'm gonna wrap this up. If you guys don't have a whole bunch of questions, I'm happy to answer any questions though. But I like to start exactly at 3, and I don't like to run over too much. If you guys have a bunch of questions, I'm happy to run over and talk to you about it. But if you don't have a bunch of questions, then I have another meeting coming up at 4:30. So again, go here to Target View Trades and sign up for the trial. Right? It's free. You need to have Trading View charts to take the trial. Right? If you don't have Trading View charts, don't do this. Right? There's no sense doing this because there's nothing else. There's this. I give you access to the charts, and then you can ask me questions through email. You can text me if you want to. You can Telegram me. You can put questions in the Telegram channel, or you can wait until the weekly meeting on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. Alright? I don't run a room with this in the morning. I do run a room, but it's a different thing. But this is much easier, and you don't have to learn anything. There's no learning curve for this. It just tells you, you know, take the trade. Take the trade. You don't have to learn about any kind of indicator or anything like that. All you need to know is it said, go short. Here's the target. Here's the stop. That's all you have to do. Right now, it just gave this sell right here. It said sell coming up, 15 range sell coming up on the NQ. It just triggered on my phone, and it triggered right here. And the reason it did it is, I'm waiting for it. It might have already given it right in here. It didn't paint right. Hang on. Let me go to 5 minute and back to 15 range. There it is, right there. So it gave the indication right in here. It gave the short right in there. I think that was the whole thing that just happened right there. What time was this at? 15:59. Yeah, it was right there. Short condition met. Didn't go anywhere, but that's it right there. Alright, do I make live real-time calls somewhere? I do, Jay. Every day. If you want to go there, that one is this place right here, mytradingiq.com. This is a whole different thing though. Yeah, mytradingiq.com, we're going to teach you how to trade. It's a 5-day trial. Alright? And it is not $25 a week. It's a commitment. If you want to get in there and see me trade live every day, that's where you do it right here. Okay, I do it every day. I've been doing it every day for over a decade. 9:30 to 11:30 every day. We have thousands and thousands of recordings of stuff that I've done. But this right here, oops, not that. This right here, you don't have to learn. That other stuff you have to learn. It's a big upfront fee and you have to learn. Okay? But I do get in there and I do trade live in front of everybody every day. That's what this spreadsheet is based on. Like today, this month, what this says is the number of trades it took me to get my goal for the day and the number of minutes it took me to get my goal for the day. Every day so far this month. 6 minutes, 1 trade, 8 minutes, 2 trades, 7 minutes, 1 trade, 6 minutes, 1 trade. Today it was 7 minutes and 1 trade. And I was up $2,850 after those 7 minutes and 1 trade. That's not something that's going to cost $25 a week. Okay, but I do that every day. You can go take the trial if you just want to see. I give exact entry stops, exits, and manage the trade. Go take the trial. You'll see it tomorrow. You have to understand range bars. And I try to tell you what's going to happen ahead of time. I try to give you as much information as I can. The stops are always the same. The exits are based upon the diamond principle. It's all stuff you have to learn. With target view trades, you don't have to learn anything. Alright, you just get in there and start trading. You don't have to learn anything. Like something just triggered here at 4 o'clock. This is good. So, the thing that I had done earlier, now how far down did this pull? It pulled all the way down below 5,600. Okay, so I was good. Selling that at 56.20 today. And it's only back up here at 50. Yeah, I was really good selling that at 56.20 today. Okay. You want to hear and see me do what? Okay, yeah, get in there. Sign up for the free trial. And you'll be able to go in there and watch me do it tomorrow morning. Okay? Wow, something is happening right here. Look at the NQ going nuts. Alright. That was this one right here. mytradingiq.com. Go there and sign up for the trial there. Okay, Jay? And you'll see me do it live there. I won't be using TV trades in there. Alright, I might reference it once or twice during the session, but I won't be using TV trades in there. You will see something in there that I'm working on that kind of started with TV trades and kind of spilled over into it started with TV trades and kind of spilled over a little bit because I'm one person and my brain gets spread out all over the place, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, Google earnings, is that what came out there? Just got okay. Thank you. Do I have a recording of the past trade calls? I do. There's stuff from today. There's stuff I have a recording. Today, when I got into the lesson plan today, I didn't really trade much today. But usually, I have stuff of the morning session, and I do something every afternoon at 1 to 1:30 on YouTube as well. And those are all on YouTube of me doing the trades. But yeah, there are recordings of it. Most everything that I do is recorded. Once I start the lesson plan every day, I start recording. When Valerie is in, which is right now, she starts the recording at the beginning of the session. So everything that I do in the session when Valerie is in gets recorded. But when I'm recording it, it gets doubly recorded when I start doing the lesson plan every day. And I start the lesson plan at 10:15. So I trade from 9:30 to 10:15, just live while trading and putting it all on. Getting the goal for the day. And then after that, I go into a lesson plan where I teach people how to trade. So that is way different than this. In this, there is no learning curve. There are no indicators, no learning curve. With that, there lots of indicators. Give you a little taste. Oops. Lots of indicators and lots of learning that goes into it. Okay. The YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN. In the channel, you'll see I come on at 1 o'clock every day. I come on at 12:50 every day, usually right around 12:50. And at 12:50, I go over everything that I did in the morning session till about 1 o'clock. And from 1 to 1:30, I trade live again every day. So you can check that out if you want. But again, that's not using this. That's using different stuff. You just want to know if I'm a real trader? Yeah, I'm a real trader. And there are people in here that have seen me trade for years. Yeah. I have people that have been following me around. They watch my kids grow up. You know, they watch my son get his first communion. And now he's going to graduate from college in December. Yeah. The real thing, Jay. Go check it out. Alright, that's it, guys. With that, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to targetviewtrades.com. Alright, sign up for the free trial right here. It's only $25 for the 3-day free trial, or $90. It's $25. The trial really is free. After 3 days, it's $25 a week. You can do this one that's $90 a month after the 3 days. Either way, try it out. Alright, you get to use the stuff on your charts, on your time frame, at your leisure. Okay? And yeah, Discard just said, yes, we have. Discard's one of the guys that has been with us for, I don't know, probably 5 to 6 years now. I mean, Discard maybe more than that. More than that, probably, isn't it? 7 or 8 years, I think. It's been a while. Was I still living in Boston when you first signed on? I've been in North Carolina for 10 years now. I was still in Boston, so it's been over 10 years then. Because I've been in North Carolina for 10 years now. Alright, I really do gotta wrap it up, guys. I have a meeting coming up here at 4:30 with one of our other partners. So thank you all for coming. If you have any questions, here, I'll put in my number, 617-943-3298. You can text me at that number, okay? Text Michael at that number. You can text me at that number if you come up with any questions, okay? It's free for the first 5 days, Jay. That's why I said go sign up for the trial there. It's free for the first 5 days. Okay? But after that, it's no longer free. Ever again. You get a lifetime license to the indicator. This is what you get. But if you want to stay in the room and watch me trade, it's no longer free. Okay? The idea is to teach you how to do it. That between $3,000 and $5,000, depending what package you choose. All right, and that's just the beginning. Okay, but the idea. Well, yeah, we don't have something where you just pay to get in there, and no, the idea is to teach you how to trade. All right, I know you're doing the Apex thing, and you want to be able to just get in there and copy the trades that I do, so you can get the same results that I do. You gotta learn how to trade, because there's a lot of trades that I miss. There's a lot of trades that I don't get because I'm talking, because I'm training, because I'm doing a lot of things. So you'd be better off learning how to trade on your own, and then just doing it on your own. You know, it goes so fast in the morning, you wouldn't be able to keep up, be able to copy what I do, unless you know how to do it yourself. Right? Unless it's a really slow day. But on a normal day, you know, where I'm trading 4 different markets at once. Because I do trade 4 different markets at once. You know, it's really fast. So, again, that is a whole different thing. Go out and sign up for the trial there. If you want to watch it in the morning, sign up. If you're not going to pay the money for it, then don't bother. Okay? If you want to take a trial with this, where we give you the actual trades, that's more what you need, it seems like, what you want. if you want to take a trial with this, where you get the actual trades, you get everything that you need triggered on your chart, on your chart right in front of you. You get everything that you need. Take the trial with this. It's a 3-day trial. It's free for 3 days, and it's $25 a week. Okay. Okay. Well, go take the trial, and you'll see it tomorrow morning. Just gotta keep saying, I want to know if you're a real trader. I think it's funny. Oh. Alright, well, I'm done with that conversation. Alright, if you want to take the trial, take the trial. I got a meeting coming up I gotta get to. I will be there in the morning like I am every morning, and I have been for over a decade. Okay? Take the trial on this. If you're interested in getting the stuff sent directly to you, then do that. Alright? That's it, guys. I'm wrapping it up. Thank you all for coming today. I'm going to wrap it up here. I appreciate you all taking the time to listen to me. Come and check out what I have to show you. And I will see you all, well, the next time I do it in any session that you're in with me. Alright? Again, thanks for coming. We'll see you all later.